That's right, because I was being the character. And not,
photography. That was funny.
The voice.
And it was so funny when, because every time, at an appropriate moment, when, like in between the monologues or something, that I'd get up and go, whoa, whoa,
Oh, would you really?
Reneé, like I was being just like your biggest fan.
Did you really? That's
You could hear the whoop whoops on the phone.
Funny.
I did not know that was you.
That
You
was
could hear
me.
it on the film.
wow.
Somebody going whoop.
I didn't hear anybody yell whoop.
I love you, Reneé!
How could I miss that?
We love you! Which is a Michael Jackson.
Oh, I had music on in between each monologue, maybe.
Yeah, and it was kind of, it was
Wasn't
appropriate
that
moments. I
loud?
wouldn't
Was
do
it?
it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
And everyone else was cheering.
Was it the end then, huh? At the end, maybe?
Yeah, I was just yelling louder than everybody else. Because it was fun. It was like, that's what this character would do.
Yeah.
What's it like to kiss Lucy Lawless?
You would have had to dip my character because she would have just been freaking out at the nearness of you. I can't believe I'm going to be kissed by Reneé.
What's her name, Pat?
I don't know, Pat was the SNL
No, I
character.
know,
I didn't
yeah.
really go as far as getting a name. But I've got all these photos at home because there was nobody
That's funny.
but home but, you know, me and the kids. So I have to take photos of myself with a digital thing so I can see what I look like with different wigs on. And then, anyway, I
That
tried
wig
a few.
is wild. Where'd you get that
It's a
wig?
crazy wig, eh? Some
Yeah.
little shop in New York.
That's funny.
It's a $15 wig.
It's really funny.
Dreads.
Gosh.
Do you guys feel like you're hams on stage?
I do.
Do you?
Together, I feel.
Yeah, we're hams together.
Yeah. I
It's
feel like
much more fun when you're in character, though.
Yeah, when you're in
When
a
you're in
character, not
yeah,
Xena, but
in a character. Because,
Right.
I don't know, there's no holds barred. When you're being yourself, you've got all your
Yeah.
manners and everything your mother taught you and what you
Right.
think they need to have. When you're a character, that character's free to flout all those rules.
We have pictures of you on, we've got the video of you doing Huzgar Khan, getting your tattoos put on, and we now have a few shots of you. How, by the way, how were those tattoos put on your body for that last piece?
They were decals. Decals similar to the Mindy that we used to use, you know. I think you found them in New York, right? At a shop in New York, and we put them on with some water. And, no, it was alcohol, sorry. And then backstage, I wanted to color them in because I wanted them to pop a bit more from.
Oh, they were nice, too. They were
Yeah.
good tats.
Well, that's
They
good.
looked
They were,
really good.
they were black and white, but then good job. But then I had Catherine Fugere and Missy Good.
Myself, Wendy.
And Wendy all taking a marker and just basically coloring in the tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I didn't have much time, so I said, okay, we're going to just pick a color, pick a tattoo, do whatever you want, you know, and let's just I needed, like 10 minutes or something and be done with it. And they had fun.
So you,
I'm
what I'm thinking about it. But I noticed basically she's simply standing there. Now, you're used to doing that at work. Now, here we're kind of a bunch of regular strangers, although we were all people that you did know. But actresses have that done all the time. We've seen that in the sessions today. That, you know, is that an easy thing to do when you started, or is that something you have to learn to do to sort of?
It's funny because I thought that it would be really easy and no big deal. And so I was there, and I do know, you know, like Missy and Catherine and you and Wendy pretty well. But I found, and it did take me back to Xena, the whole thing of being sort of there, and you're just sort of in your music at 6:30 in the morning and waiting while they're finishing the makeup, right? But there's a reason not a reason, but you start to get detached from your body. You sort of, I find.
Yeah.
You start to kind of leave it, you know what I mean, and your mind goes elsewhere. And I had to really fight against how I felt after that happened to get back into getting ready for the show, because the whole show for me was all about being in my body and sharing everything I could with everybody.
Huh.
So yeah, it took me a minute just to go, what the?
Get your head in the
I
right
have no,
space.
yeah, where am I? You know.
Did you find that natural starting when you first started acting, and all of a sudden you have to sit there
And have people fussing on you all the time. There were times in the beginning, I think, where it was like, oh, you know, please get that cold, yucky sponge away or something. But
But you
after a
can't.
while, you don't even notice them.
But that's because your mind leaves for me. Like I would just think of something else, you know.
Yeah, just get it over and done with.
Yeah.
It's
The
not
freedom-
a big deal.
The freedom of fighting. Adrian, I was talking to Adrian about her first day on set, Adrian Wilkinson, and she had to do fighting, and it was difficult. That's not something she had ever done in real life, and she never did that kind of a part. From like your time
I remember that for her first day, actually.
Yeah. From your first time on Hercules, it looked like the freedom to be a strong fighter was there. Am I seeing that correctly, or were you timid when you started to do that? And he said, okay.
I guess that's why I got the job, really. Ask Rob. I come from a family with a lot of boys, and we did a lot of wrestling, and yeah, physical freedom was never a problem for me. People might have encouraged me to try to be a lady, but I don't remember it. Never stuck. So yeah, it's much easier for me to act aggressive than it is for me to be, soft. And
so if you had a part where
problem, really.
Stop.
is that
Well, no, sometimes it is, because if I'm really uncomfortable, I'll come off like a smart ass sometimes instead of just being myself. If I feel like I'm in a hostile environment or something.
You have to be defensive.
Yeah, I'll be defensive, and even if I don't need to be.
It's funny because I'll get quiet. It's interesting. Yeah.
One gets loud, one gets quiet.
Yeah, I'll get
and
quiet.
you were quiet when she was the loud one on the characters. It's the exact opposite.
On the character. Oh, the
Gabrielle was the loud, noisy one, and you were quiet.
Really?
That I was loud and
And
noisy?
Butch. You were loud, noisy, and Butch.
It was all in the hair.
All the hair. Lucy said directing is about control and acting is about surrender. Agree, disagree?
I
What do you
agree.
think?
I agree. I think acting is definitely about surrendering and exposing your heart. And then directing is about being intellectual and controlling the environment and controlling performances and almost like
Clock watching,
clock watching,
compromising, letting go of your vision.
all
The
the
good thing
reasons
about
people
acting
want to
is
do
that,
it.
for the most part, you're at the very end of the line.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much do whatever you want within,
You
the
can,
parameters of your character.
but don't you think you're still at the, you're still at the mercy of, like you said, the director, the editor, the producer. So even though you give a performance that you might feel really good about, it could be edited out,
It's true.
completely cut to pieces, and
True.
have a whole different performance on camera in the film. So it's interesting. So you're still exposing yourself, but you never know
Right.
what you're going to get.
Well, I'm only there for that moment and then
Right.
totally let it go.
But you do it for the just that one moment. That was
That's what I was
interesting.
going to say. So the free.
I realize what it is with me, that I live in the moment,
Right.
which means sometimes which is why I can't remember things that happened 2 seconds ago. I don't have anecdotes for the most part.
Right.
And it means I make some really big mistakes because I only think about things retrospectively. I don't, I don't plan anything in life.
God, I love that, Lucy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
my goal. Live in the moment.
Yeah. Well, we got to meet somewhere in the middle and cross over a little.
Take a little from each other.
Because sometimes it works out great, but sometimes it's a complete disaster. And I just bounce from fiasco to fiasco in my life.
God, see, I would love to have that freedom. That's what I'm trying to learn, is not to plan my future, you know what I mean? Not to have a plan in my career or anything. Just live for people around me and enjoying every experience,
So you're worrying about the past and the future and missing out on the minute.
I can't
And you're
be.
enjoying the heck out of the minute. And
Or not enjoying,
But
but,
I mean-
just I'm right
Yeah.
there.
But the thing is that you go in and out of that. I'm not always like that. But I mean, there are definitely, I'd say recently, more about living, planning things instead of just embracing, How fun. That's it.
That's why I can never plan things ahead either. I can
Oh, yeah,
think
you're
kind of
like
in
that.
terms of the next week, but if Rob says, oh, May 8th, well, keep in mind, May 8th, something really important is going to happen. May 8th might as well be 10 years away. I'm not going to worry about it now.
Funny? And I'm not like that at
Yeah,
all.
you can't book in with me 2 weeks ahead.
God, and I'd love to know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Like 3 months. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
I love it.
I wonder if
Time
you
means
guys,
nothing.
if you guys had been at a party for a mutual friend but had never met each other, do you think you would have started talking with each other for past hello and how are you? You think you might have, because you're so different.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not initially. Like if we didn't know each other at all.
Possibly not.
Yeah. What a shame.
But now you just go,
Absolutely.
well, That's
Yeah.
impossible.